11 tips to flirt like a pro. Are you looking to spice up your life with some attractive people? How about starting a romantic relationship with that friend or acquaintance you can't stop thinking about? Well, Brightside is here to help you with this handy guide to flirting. The concept of flirting might seem overwhelming or awkward, but it's a skill like any other. The more you learn about it and the more you practice it, the better you'll get. Don't worry, it's normal to be a little nervous around someone you like. But these tips can help set you at ease so that you'll be confident and comfortable. The key to flirting is balance. Reveal your feelings, but keep the person intrigued and wanting to know more as well. You want them to think about you the way you think about them. You want them to feel special and flattered and comfortable with you. Always remember that flirting might not work. You may try to flirt with someone who just isn't interested in you in that way, and that's okay. If you aren't getting positive signs, back off. Look elsewhere. Persistence may work in the movies, but it just comes off as creepy in real life. Pay attention to the feelings of the person you're flirting with and be wary of that line. 1. Watch for warning signs. Don't set yourself up for failure by flirting with someone who is not receptive. We all have behaviors we practice when we aren't receptive to an approach. If your crush is sitting on a bus, legs folded, earbuds in, reading a book, or working on a laptop, leave them alone. If they're on a run at the gym with their earbuds in, totally focused on what they're doing, they're not interested in flirting. This is especially the case with women, who typically deal with a lot more unwanted attention than men do. The bottom line, do not approach someone who doesn't want to be approached. Do not try to force someone to talk to you. Respect their space and boundaries. Particularly for men pursuing women, you might well develop a crush on a woman who mocks men who do things like ask for consent or give people space. It's okay to pursue such a person, but be careful. They might be dealing with trust issues or a distorted sense of how a romantic relationship should work. Go slowly and be respectful of their boundaries and needs. 2. Make eye contact. We don't mean stare. That's weird. But make eye contact with a person you find attractive. A shared glance is one of the most intimate things we can do without touching each other. You'll learn a lot about a person by meeting their eyes and watching their expression. Try the following. Get caught looking. Toss some glances their way until they catch you. Hold the gaze for a second, watch their expression, then smile and look away. In a conversation, look into their eyes, particularly when they're talking about something they really like or is meaningful to them. You should also do this when you're complimenting them to convey your sincerity. Depending on the mood, try winking or raising your eyebrows. It often comes across as funny, but if you time it right, it can lighten things up and make you interesting. Try doing it from across a room. When you're in a group, say something that makes everyone laugh that you secretly mean mostly for the person in question. This can foster a sense of intimacy in which both of you know something that no one else does. 3. Smile. Our expressions reveal a lot about our feelings, and a smile is especially good at conveying a sense of friendliness and interest. Show your crush you like them with a real, genuine smile. If you're good with those pearly whites, you can give yourself an advantage before you even start talking. Try these. Smile at your crush when you pass them in the halls. Not a big goofy grin, just something simple and easy. Natural. Let your face light up. Smile slowly. If a smile gradually spreads over your face when you see someone, it looks like you just can't help it. This can also be very sexy in the right setting. Smile when you make eye contact. This adds extra weight to the intimacy of locking eyes. If it's a genuine smile, it will crinkle your eyes. This is a Duchenne smile, and it's sometimes called smiling with your eyes. 4. Start simply. Cheesy pickup lines often do more harm than good, so start with a comfortable, easy line of dialogue. Say hello and introduce yourself, especially if you don't know each other well or at all. Make sure you learn your crush's name if you don't already know it. It's easy to forget a name in the heat of the moment, so try repeating it after they say it to wire it into your memory. Say something like, Rochelle, what a pretty name, or Richard, nice. A trickier but potentially effective option here is to make the exchange of names a flirty challenge. This works best when your crush approaches you and asks for your name. You might say something like, well, who do I look like? If they really want to know your name, they'll guess or ask around. 5. Be a conversationalist. To flirt, you've generally got to be able to talk, and we've got you covered here. You want your crush to feel comfortable, but also impressed by your confidence and intrigued to learn more about you. Practice this by talking to strangers. Strike up a conversation about something easily observed, like the weather, or if there are a lot of people gathered around you. Find common ground with a person. If you already know them, this is probably easy. Talk about something you both know about or like, perhaps an academic subject or a TV show. Maybe it's the class you share or the restaurant you're currently eating in. The point is to invite them to interact with you in an easy, comfortable way on a topic they're familiar with. If your crush responds pleasantly, keep chatting. If they don't respond or seem preoccupied or disinterested, stop. They're not interested in flirting with you. Tell them to have a nice day and find someone else to talk to. Absolutely do not berate them for ignoring you. Not only will they never flirt with you, but getting a reputation for being impolite will not help your chances with others. 6. Keep it light. As the conversation continues, keep it light. Don't bring up anything too personal or controversial. Avoid topics like religion, money, and politics. Don't talk about your ex or say that you're looking for a relationship. That starts to sound pushy. Generally, avoid debating topics that are personally relevant to either you or them, and stick to subjects neither of you has a personal stake in. Sometimes you can bring up something offbeat or unexpected, and it will capture your crush's interest. Be playful. Don't take yourself too seriously. You want to come off as fun, not intense. Be a little silly. High five or fist bump your crush when they say something funny or clever, and try to relax. Be a little self-deprecating, or tell a story about doing something silly but unimportant, like wearing mismatched socks to an interview. Some fun and light-hearted topics to consider. Pets, particularly if you have the same number of pets. TV, particularly something superficial like reality TV. And if your crush hates reality TV, you can easily join them in laughing at it. Slightly embarrassing experiences, particularly when it all ended up fine with everyone laughing. Vacations, specifically places you've loved visiting or look forward to checking out one day. Basically, your goal in the conversation is to seem real and genuine without being too intense. Don't put too much pressure on yourself over the course of the conversation. Just be comfortable around them. 7. Listen to your body language. Human beings use body language to convey their intentions and thoughts just as much as they use words. According to some psychologists, most of our communication is nonverbal. You're communicating with your body, and so is your crush. If they're closed off, you might want to stop trying to flirt. Consider these signals. An open stance conveys interest in the other person. If you cross your arms or legs, that's a sign of discomfort or wanting to close yourself off from someone. We turn our bodies to face people we're interested in. Stand or sit so you're facing your crush, and angle your torso towards them. Sometimes even pointing your feet in their direction can be suggestive. If you're looking or pointing away, it might look like you're bored or disinterested. Play with your hair. This one is particularly for the ladies. If you're touching your hair during a conversation, it usually indicates anxious energy, which may be the result of your interest. If you want to make it clearer, slowly twirl a strand of hair around your finger as you talk. 8. Break the touch barrier. This is tricky. You should never touch anyone without their permission, but sometimes that permission is implied rather than directly stated. If it's unclear whether your crush would be comfortable with a touch, just go ahead and ask. The fact that you care about their feelings and respect their consent is a sign of respect and kindness. If you think your crush wants to be touched but hasn't said anything, casually touch them on the forearm as you talk or brush against them if you're sitting next to each other. Remember when we talked about women touching their hair while flirting? If you touch your crush's hair while flirting and they let you, that can be powerful, especially if they're proud of their hair. If they seem uncomfortable or ask you to stop, immediately do so. It means you misread the situation. Take no for an answer, and don't try it again until they initiate contact. Depending on where you live, hugs or even kisses might be a fairly common gesture between flirtatious friends. If that's the case, make sure you offer a hug or kiss, but don't put any pressure on them to accept. If they don't, that's fine. Just roll with it. Whatever you do, don't be humiliated or take offense at rejection. After all, it's up to them whether you are allowed to touch them or not. If they turn down a touch, accept that rejection with good grace. 9. Compliment early, compliment often. We all like compliments, and you should use them when flirting. Maintain eye contact, smile, and show you're sincere. Don't make up a compliment for something you don't think about them or don't know. This will come off as fake. Offer genuine compliments. Offer a compliment early in the conversation. Lower your voice a little to make it sound a bit more intimate and maybe even sexy. It might also draw your crush in closer to hear you. Try to weave the compliment into the conversation naturally. You don't want it to sound dropped in. If your crush is talking about having a bad day, say, "No, that's not okay. You are too awesome for that kind of bad luck." There's no reason not to do your homework. To prepare yourself for this, think about what you really admire about a person. Consider their interests and what you know about them. If you really admire something they do, like if they foster stray cats and help them find forever homes, tell them so. Be very careful about complimenting their looks, even if that's what originally drew you to them. This can come off as extremely superficial. Try to look deeper and mix in compliments about non-physical features. If you want to compliment your crush's looks, go for one of these. Their eyes, especially if you can think of a cool, unusual descriptor for their color. Try topaz instead of hazel. Their smile, but be careful not to tell them the smile, which can come off as a little sexist. Their hair, particularly about the cool style or how it feels. 10. Keep it short and sweet. Remember that when supply is low, demand rises, so try to keep your interactions brief. Don't flirt with your crush every day, but aim for a few times a week. When we rarely get to do something, it becomes more special. Talk for just a few minutes and don't drag on about any particular subject. Keep moving and avoid awkward silences. Let your crush come to you. Once you've sparked an interest, too much attention will smother it and you'll come off as too intense. See if they approach you rather than the other way around. If they do, that's a good sign that your flirtation is both welcome and potentially going to lead to a closer relationship. 11. Be honest. Make it clear what you want. As much as you might find yourself frustrated when you can't tell what your crush wants, imagine how they feel. If your crush ever asks you what you're looking for, just be honest. And that means being honest with yourself as well as with your crush. If you haven't thought about it before, give it some thought now. Is this someone you want to date? Are you flirting because it's fun and you get a little charge out of it? Or, now that you've reached this point, are you okay with just leaving things as they are? If you both want to take your flirtatious relationship further, congratulations, go for it. Express your interest in going on a date, suggest a couple of options, and ask for their opinion. If they tell you they aren't interested in a relationship, take them at their word. Rejection happens, and every potential relationship fails until one doesn't. Don't take it personally or react with any negativity. Just smile, nod, and walk away. Remember that you can have flirtatious relationships with people that don't have to be romantic. If you and your crush agree to keep your friendship the way it is, including the flirting, go ahead and do it. These can be extremely rewarding relationships that teach you a lot about people. If nothing else, having a flirtatious friend will give you plenty of practice. Did any of our tips help you? Was there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like on our video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to always stay on the bright side of life.